Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Vanessa, and today, as you probably already know by the title of this video, I'm going to be talking to you guys about my labor and delivery story with my first son. Now I'm currently probably 31 weeks pregnant by the time I upload this video with my second baby, and it's just, you know, I've been watching a lot of other YouTubers and their labor and delivery story, and it's really inspired me and, you know, built confidence in me to do the same and to try and have a natural labor and delivery. Now, if you've been following me on Instagram, Facebook, and all that jazz, and you kind of maybe know a little bit about my labor and delivery with my first son and how that all went. And if you don't worry, I will definitely be telling you guys in this video, and I will be trying to compare a little bit with this pregnancy as well, because this is what has inspired me to make this video, because the second pregnancy is so different, and I hope by the time I deliver I can come back to you guys and have a whole another story to tell you guys, because the first one wasn't so great. So if you're new to this channel, please don't forget to like this video. Please don't forget to subscribe to the channel so that you don't miss any other videos like this. This is going to be uploaded on my fitness channel, but I am going to be making a separate channel coming up soon, which will kind of be a little bit different, maybe a little bit more mommy, hair, just a little bit different, because I do want to keep this channel strictly fitness and nutrition and kind of separate it. But because this video has a lot to do with health and nutrition, I'm putting it on this channel. So again, don't forget to subscribe to the channel so you will not miss another video like this, and please don't forget to hit that bell button down at the bottom so that when I do upload another video you will be notified. Alright, let's get straight to the video. Alright, so let's just get straight into it with my first pregnancy. So this video is all going to be about baby number one, and it's a boy. So with my first pregnancy, I was 20 years old when I got pregnant, and it was a week before my 21st birthday when I found out I was pregnant. Let me just put it out there, I was not into health, I was not into fitness at all. At the time I was a medical assistant, so a lot of my job consisted of sitting and computer work and administrative work, so I wasn't very active at all. My whole pregnancy went pretty well, you know. It was a planned pregnancy, so the beginning of my pregnancy went very well. I did not have like any nausea at all besides like 1 or 2 weeks, but things started to kind of take a toll when I became about 7 months pregnant. That's when I started like really feeling like crap. So by 7 months pregnant, let me just put it out there, I did not weigh myself at all throughout the whole pregnancy until I was 8 months pregnant because of the health conditions that I'm going to explain to you guys later in the video. But throughout my pregnancy I didn't weigh myself, I didn't really watch what I ate, and I did not exercise. I was seriously the pregnant woman that was like, I'm pregnant, I can't do anything, I'm just gonna sit here and eat everything because I'm eating for two, which is not true. But I'm just thinking about it right now, like it's like traumatic flashbacks. But basically, at 7 months pregnant, I found myself already up, we'll just say about 70 pounds. When I got pregnant, I was 120 pounds, and by the time I was 8 months pregnant, I was 184 pounds. Now that's a big jump, and you know, I can tell you I have never been really a big girl. I've always kind of been like a small, not petite, but just slim girl. And even though I wasn't athletic, I never really was a heavyweight girl. And you know, with pregnancy, I didn't really know a lot. There wasn't really a lot of information out there on YouTube as there is now, or maybe there was, but I just really wasn't into it, so I didn't really know, and I didn't really do the research that I should have been doing. And at the time I had an OB doctor, and you know, they kind of just, you know, you need to eat healthy, but they're not really on you, and I just, basically I let the first pregnancy go to shit, okay? So I gained over, we'll just say 120 to 184 pounds at 8 months pregnant. When I stepped on that scale at 8 months pregnant, I didn't even want to look again, because that's 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80. That's about 65 pounds that I gained just in 8 months. So because of this, a lot of health conditions started to arise. I remember when I went for my 8-month checkup, you know, I was going, I think, 2 times a week at this time, and I went there and my OB told me that my blood pressure was really high. Now I do have blood pressure issues and stuff with my family, but I mean, I've never had any health conditions at all, and I never had any issues with high blood pressure. So my high blood pressure was really high, and you know, they told me, okay, when you come back in a week, we're gonna check it again, and we're gonna see how you're doing. You know, just kind of rest. But I didn't really have like a very demanding job, so they weren't like, oh, you need to be on bed rest, since all I did was sit all day. But I can tell you, you know, I got so swollen. At the time, we were moving. We moved when I was 8 months pregnant, and in those like 2 days that we moved, like, we didn't cook at all. I remember we ate at the buffet 2 times, like Friday and Saturday, or Saturday and Sunday, because, you know, we didn't have time to sit down and eat, so we just ate a lot. By the time I went to the doctors, I was so swollen. Like, my hands, I could not even put them together like this. Like, look, I can put this together and I'm almost 31 weeks. But when I was 32 weeks, like, it was like this. Like, I could not even get them down. I gained a lot of weight, and for sure I'm gonna be putting pictures up there just so you guys can see what I look like, and I'll probably put a maybe hopefully transformation picture, not transformation, but kind of like comparison picture of what I look like now. But basically, I got so swollen. My ankles were huge. I had a lot of excess weight. I didn't even really have stretch marks at this point. I didn't even really care. It's just, I really felt like crap. Like, I just remember, like, if this is pregnancy, like, I don't ever want to do it again. And I just felt like shit, like, so tired. And it was the worst time ever. I just remember, like, not being able to get up, not even being able to walk. I felt so tired and just, ugh. So basically, going into my doctors, you know, they did take my blood pressure again the next week, and it was still really, really high. They actually made me go to triage and try to monitor the baby to see if there was any issues with that, because it ended up that I had preeclampsia. And basically what that is caused by high blood pressure, swelling. I've seen, like, you know, salt retention, and you know, in this pregnancy, they're telling me it's just the way that your placenta attaches to your uterus, and there's really nothing you can do about it. But in my case, and the reason why I think I really got it is because I wasn't eating healthy at all. For breakfast, let me tell you, I had Starbucks for breakfast. For lunch, I had a Costco pizza slice and a hot dog in the same sitting, because I thought if I ate big at one time, I wouldn't get hungry again. Yeah, that wasn't true. Then on the way home from work, I would get McDonald's because I'd be so hungry because the pizza and hot dog didn't fill me up. And then when we came home, it would be something fast food because I didn't cook worth shit back then. So basically, 4 to 5 times a day, I was just eating fast food, junk food, whatever I wanted, candy, whatever that was in sight, I ate it. I did not have health and nutrition and healthy baby on my mind. I just was hungry and I just ate everything. And, you know, I believe that's kind of one of the reasons why I did gain so much weight, because, you know, that's a lot of salt, it's a lot of GMOs, it's a lot of crap, on top of not being active at all and sitting all day. I mean, I don't know what else can cause it. I don't think it was just my placenta attaching wrong. I think it was all those things together. And I don't know why, you know, my OB, they want to tell me that it wasn't. It's just kind of like what happened. I don't know. I'm not a doctor, but I really believe it was because of the unhealthy lifestyle that I had at the moment. So back to the story. I ended up going to triage, and everything basically was okay with the baby. I don't remember them telling me anything was wrong. I just remember going either that a couple days later or even the following week, and my doctor told me that I would have to be induced because of the condition. So at 32 weeks, I went into the hospital to get induced. This was May 5th, so Cinco de Mayo 2014. I went into the hospital to get induced. Let me tell you, I did not read anything about induction. I didn't know anything about really like the C-section rate. I didn't do any research at all. I honestly went into this pregnancy just kind of like, whatever happens to me is gonna happen because it's normal, you know, it's life. And as well as with my doctors, whatever they told me, I just did what they said because I thought they knew best. And I thought they had my best interest in mind. So I just said, okay, yeah, let's get this baby out, because honestly, by that time, I would not want to wait like 2 or 3, 4 more weeks. Like, I was just like, yeah, let's do the induction. So going in Cinco de Mayo to have my baby, I thought he would be out like that night or that day. Went in at 4 p.m. and, you know, they told me all this medicine that they were gonna do, like Cervidil, Pitocin, blah, blah, blah. And I didn't know what it is. I was like, okay, like whatever you guys have to do to get it out. I didn't have a birth plan back then. I don't even think they even told me to have a birth plan. I just remember going to the hospital and they asked me, what's your plan? And I said, I plan to do it naturally. And they're like, okay. So, you know, and I was like, no, like I want to do it naturally. I don't want any epidural. I really want to try, and I want you guys to help me. So going in May 5th, I remember they started putting me on a medicine, and it's called magnesium. And let me tell you, I didn't know what it was. I mean, they told me, but I was like, whatever back then. But now that I'm, you know, in my second pregnancy, I've asked like every single question, what it was, what is this, what is that? So I'm a little bit more informed. So basically, I was put on magnesium, and they put me on magnesium because of my preeclampsia. They wanted to control my blood pressure and make sure that I didn't have any seizures while I was in labor. Now that shit freaking sucks. Like, it made my brain feel so cold. I felt so weird and just drugged and just blah, okay? So I'm sleeping. I don't even know what time this happened, but I remember just waking up in the middle of the night and throwing up. Like, I was just literally sat up and all over the floor, and just everything went out. And I remember the nurses coming in, rushing in. They're like, oh, you need to get epidural right now, right now. And I'm just like, okay, yeah. You know, I thought I had to. I thought I was gonna die if I didn't. You know, they didn't, you know, oh, okay, I recommend you get epidural because blah, 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 blah. They just, you need to get epidural. And it was like pressured. And I just was like, okay, you know. So I got the epidural, and let me tell you, before I got the epidural, I didn't feel any contractions. Like, I had not felt any contractions. I remember they did use Cervidil. They put Cervidil inside. I think throughout the whole entire labor, they put 3 pills inside to try to ripen the cervix, and that it didn't work. So I believe I had Cervidil and the magnesium at the same time, and it did not work. So then they put me on the epidural. So getting on the epidural before even feeling any contractions kind of sucked, because I didn't even know what I was going to be waiting for or what was going to happen. So later down the road, you know, they're checking me, making sure, like seeing if I'm ripened, anything. And let me tell you, when I went in to be induced, I was like closed. There was nothing. I was I was not dilated or effaced at all. So they put that thing inside, trying to ripen the cervix. Somehow it didn't work. So then they ended up putting me on Pitocin. And I believe this was probably the 6th at around either the 5th at midnight, which I believe it was, because usually when they put you on Cervidil, I think you have to wait like 12 hours, or Pitocin, I'm not really sure. But anyways, you have 12 hours that it kind of, they're trying to ripen everything. But I believe it was the Cervidil they put me on for 12 hours, and then I had the epidural, and then coming in the next day, the 6th, they put me on Pitocin to try to speed things along. So I'm on Pitocin, and I don't even remember feeling any contractions still at all because the epidural was there. I remember they advised me to get another epidural because I think I started feeling some contractions, but I was about at like a 5 or 6. And, you know, going from 0 to 5 or 6 and feeling contractions, it, like, you know, it sucks. You know, you can't even just like breathe through it. I didn't even have Braxton Hicks. Like, I had nothing. I did not know what a contraction would feel like until it was like, boom, in your face. So, and I'm kind of just throwing the dilation numbers out there because I really don't remember, because I don't even remember them telling me. I don't know if it's from the medicine or what, but I did not remember a lot. So basically, you know, they put me on Pitocin, and that stuff sucks because it makes your contractions so hard. I remember, like, I needed another epidural throughout my whole entire labor, which lasted from May 5th at 4 p.m. to May 7th at a.m. I had 3 epidurals and then a 4th injection. I think it was an epidural, but a little bit different. I think it was a spinal block, which I'll explain that to you guys a little bit later. So basically, getting on the epidural, nothing was working. My son actually ended up being sunny side up, so his head was facing outward, which was causing a lot of back labor, and that stuff sucked so bad. The fact that I couldn't move around because I had an epidural made labor so bad, because you know, you're just stuck there, you're dealing with this pain. I'm having back labor. I didn't take any prenatal classes at all, so I'm just like clenching my fists and my whole body through a contraction, and it just was the worst ever. I remember they tried a peanut thing in between my legs. They had me like on my side with the peanut and the stirrups, trying to get him flipped and everything, but it didn't work out at all. I remember basically I got to about 8 centimeters, and this happened because my epidural wore off, and then I felt those contractions so bad. Like I said, I don't even know if I felt them at 5. I just remember not feeling anything, and then feeling like the worst pain in my whole life. And I believe this is when I was at 8 centimeters, because this is as far as I made it. You know, so going from 0 to 8, and not feeling anything, not being able to breathe through it, it's hard, you know, and they're telling you to breathe and you're like, how the heck I can freaking breathe when I haven't even been training for this or haven't even like felt anything at all to be able to breathe up to this. And it just was so it's hard, you know, I'm having like traumatic flashbacks right now. So basically being, I just remember they, you know, the nurses were, one of the nurses I had was not very nice. In between my contractions, I would ask her like, please wait, like, you know, I want to be flipped after my contractions. You can see him on the monitor. His heart rate actually ended up descending, so my blood pressure was going up and his heart rate was going down. So the doctors were very, very nervous, and you know, I just remember like people rushing around and whatnot, and then they told me, they offered me a C-section on the, you know, the 7th at like 2 a.m., 1 a.m., 2 a.m. if I wanted it, because I had already had 3 epidurals and they weren't going to give me any more. And I was like, yes, please, like, let's just get this over with. Like, shoot, if you've been in labor for almost 2 days, like, let's get it going. So I just remember, like, I didn't even cry. I think this moment, I was just so, like, tired and exhausted. You know, the magnesium made me feel like crap. All the epidural, my legs were, like, numb. I couldn't even sit up. My husband was trying to, like, hold my arms for the 3rd epidural. I'm just like, and I was like, whoa, you know, I had no control at all over my body. And, you know, the epidural was wearing off and I was able to feel the contractions and I wasn't able to breathe through them at all. I didn't have any training. Nobody even told me, like, breathe. Nothing. So I just remember, you know, being kind of happy and relieved that I was going to have a C-section. I had to wait an hour because the C-section guy was at home sleeping and they had to call him in. But I remember just like being rolled into the room and it was kind of scary. You know, I've never ever been to the hospital or anything, and so being rolled into a surgery room with bright lights and putting this big blue thing up so you can't even see what's going on, it's just like, and then seeing my husband in this white mask, and it was just like, in one way relieving, but in another way it was very fast, probably 15-20 minutes. Honestly, I don't know, the time went by like so fast. But yeah, I had him via C-section, and I just remember the one memory I always have is laying on the bed and they asked my husband, but I thought they were asking me if I want to go home see my son. And I just remember like trying to move, but I couldn't because I was just stuck there. So my husband got to see him first, hold him. We walked back to the room, and it was, you know, that was it. I just remember I didn't do any skin to skin. They just took him and did everything that they did over on the table for about 10 minutes, and then they finally brought him over to me. And at that time I was just so tired and exhausted, like I was just ugh. And I always remember my dad asked me like, Vanessa, do you want to have another baby? And I'm like, huh, why you ask me this? But I just remember telling him, yeah, because the next time it won't be like this. And after all of that, and then I was still able to say that, I don't know. It was something special, I guess. Maybe I didn't get that euphoric feeling that you get when you have a baby vaginally, but doing it that way, you know, having a C-section, it was the way that God wanted my baby to come into the world. And now, so because of everything, you know, that happened, I just believe, you know, that's the way God wanted my baby to come into this world. And there was nothing really I could do about it at the time, because it was just better for him to be out rather than to be in and have more complications. Basically, you know, being in the recovery room, which was just the same room, my labor room, I was just so excited that the pain was over, everything was done, and it was over. Now the C-section part, it didn't really scare me. I was never afraid that I would have to get a C-section. Honestly, when they offered it to me, I was like, why didn't you offer this to me 2 days ago, and I would have taken it. But you know, it never really was something that I was scared to do, and I'm happy that I did do it at the time. But the recovery was also pretty fast for me. They did give me some medicine, I guess, for the pain. I think it was Vicodin, but I didn't take it really that much. They actually told me that my pain tolerance was really high when I had epidurals, which is why I had to have so many, which I don't know if that's true because I couldn't even make it through those contractions. But basically, the recovery was really fast. I recovered within about 2 weeks. Actually, in the house that we lived in, there were stairs, so I had to walk up and down those stairs, and I recovered pretty fast. Honestly, like I said, within 4 weeks I was working out. Usually people wait like 6 weeks, but I remember going to my like 4-week checkup and asking my doctor, like, is it okay if I work out? And she's like, how do you feel? I'm like, is it okay? Like, just tell me. So I started working out about 4 weeks postpartum, and honestly, it was really painful. I remember like I was basically crying just trying to work out. I remember trying to do like a jack and just stepping it out. But I did it, you know, and it helped. I think it helped me bounce back very fast. Not just bounce back, but I think I gained my strength back really fast. I mean, I was really motivated because at 7 months pregnant after gaining all that weight, I started watching Instagram videos to try to follow, you know, into Fitspo's and all these different things that I could do to get back to pre-baby weight, or not even pre-baby weight, but just pre-baby body without having all, you know, 50 pounds to lose. But basically the recovery was great, you know, it was fast. Medicine did help. My incision was like this small, and if I didn't have any stretch marks, you probably wouldn't even know that I had a baby. It was, it's like right even below the underwear line. Even if you're wearing like the smallest thong, like you wouldn't be able to see it. So it's not really that bad. And they were just stitches that kind of fell out. But this time I'm trying to do it totally different. I actually have a doula, and I'm working with midwives this time, and they're supporting me. I'm actually able to do a VBAC, which means I can have a vaginal birth after a C-section, and they're really supporting me on my decision to do it naturally and without any medication at all. Obviously, it's a plan. Doesn't mean it's set in stone. Things happen, and birth, labor, and delivery is obviously something that you can't control. But at least they are on board and what I would like, and I hope it just goes well. I hope I can come back to you guys and tell you that the second labor delivery went a lot easier than the first. So basically, that's my labor and delivery story. I ended up having it via C-section, and I wouldn't change it because honestly it was hell the first, you know, going through everything for those days. If I was one of those moms that were like, yeah, I had 2 hours of labor and popped it out, like of course I could have did it naturally, but come on, 3 days. So basically that's my labor and delivery story. I will be back hopefully within a couple months to tell you guys about baby number 2, and hopefully it'll be a lot more inspiring and motivating and natural like I'd like. But you know, I just want to say babies are a blessing, and they come into this world the way God wants them to come into this world, and there's nothing you can really do about it. You know, you can't control labor and delivery. It just happens. And the fact that our body is designed to do this is what I've learned, and if I, you know, prepare for it like a marathon, then I can do it, you know? I can do what I really want to do and have it naturally, and not just naturally, but just right, you know, like not have a C-section. So I hope that this video was inspiring to you. I hope that it wasn't too long. I'm gonna try to edit out most of this stuff, just kind of get straight to the details. But basically I just wanted to, you know, put it out there, put my story out there in case you ever wondered kind of like what really happened, why it happened. But I just honestly believe that living a healthy lifestyle and having a healthy, fit pregnancy will help you in this pregnancy. Because I'm actually a fitness instructor and a dance teacher, I am staying pretty fit. At 30 weeks, I've only gained about 25 pounds. 30, 20, we'll say about 26. We'll just say about 26 pounds, and I feel awesome. You know, I'm not feeling like shit like I did the first time. And yeah, I just hope that it doesn't come around, the preeclampsia. I hope I don't get it again, and I just hope that this pregnancy just continues to be great and awesome, because I'm really enjoying it. Not those first trimesters, but the ending is pretty good. And I hope that, yeah, I hope I just come back to you guys with an awesome, inspiring, uplifting, non-scary video. And if you're first time mom out there watching this, don't be scared. Like, you know, everybody's body, everybody's baby, everybody's labor delivery story is different. And my first one happened, I kind of just blamed myself because of the lifestyle that I was choosing to live. And maybe it wasn't my fault. But if you decide, if you are pregnant and you just have a healthy pregnancy, you eat healthy, and you stay active at least 30 minutes a day, like walk or swim or take a fitness exercise class, then you'll be on your way to a great labor and delivery. And don't forget to hit the bell button so that you are notified when another video gets uploaded. And if you guys have any comments of videos that you would like to see, or you know, if you're pregnant now and you're gonna try to do a VBAC as well, like, you know, post down in the comments just to let me know that I'm not the only one out there that went through a horrible labor and delivery with the first time. Or if you're a first time mom and you're about to, you know, go into labor, kind of just like some of your concerns, because you know, it's great that we can all talk to each other and kind of get some information, you know, like, why not? And if you are out there and you already had a natural VBAC, or natural labor, post down in the comments some tips that I can use in this second one. So I'm gonna leave you with that. My name is Vanessa. Don't forget to follow me on my Instagram, and I will talk to you guys later. Bye.